Have you ever wondered if you might be a lesbian? It's a question that's crossed many minds, and it's perfectly normal. After all, understanding our sexuality is a key part of our identity. It's okay to question, to explore, to seek answers. This video is here to help you navigate these questions, particularly if you're wondering if you might be a lesbian. Remember, everyone's journey is unique, and this is just a guide. So let's dive into the signs that you might be a lesbian. Sign number 1, you're attracted to women. It can be physical, emotional, or a combination of both. You might find yourself admiring a woman's beauty, drawn to her personality, or feeling a pull that goes beyond the platonic. It's not just about thinking someone is cool or enjoying their company, it's about a deeper connection, a pull that might leave you wanting more. Find yourself imagining what it would be like to hold a romantic relationship with her. These feelings can be confusing, especially if you're feeling them for the first time or if they're directed towards a gender you didn't expect. But it's important to remember that attraction is subjective. It can look different for everyone. What matters is what it feels like to you, and varies from person to person. Sign number 2, how do you react to male attention? Now let's clear up a common misconception. Not all lesbians are repulsed by men. That's a stereotype we need to move past. However, it's important to note that many lesbians might feel indifferent or even slightly uncomfortable when receiving romantic or sexual attention from men. It's like being handed a beautifully wrapped gift box, but feeling no excitement or anticipation about what's inside. You appreciate the gesture, but it doesn't stir anything within you. Now, this doesn't mean you dislike men or can't have meaningful friendships with them. It's about the romantic or sexual interest not being reciprocated on your part. In essence, it's like receiving a radio signal that you're not equipped to tune into. So remember, it's not about disliking men, but rather, your feelings towards attention from men can provide clues about your sexuality. Sign number 3, your vision of the future. It's often said that the dreams we hold for our future can be a mirror reflecting our deepest desires. These dreams, these visions, they're not just idle daydreams, they can be insightful glimpses into what your heart truly yearns for. Imagine your future. What does it look like? Who is standing by your side? If you consistently see a woman standing there, sharing your life, your joys, your sorrows, your triumphs, your defeats, then this could be an indication. It's not about a one-off fantasy, but rather a recurring, deep-seated longing for a life shared with a woman. This isn't a definitive sign, of course. Sexuality is complex and multifaceted, but it is a piece of the puzzle that, put together with other signs, might help you understand yourself better. Your future vision may reveal more about your sexuality than you think. Sign number 4, how do you respond to lesbian media? This sign is all about your reaction to the representation of lesbian characters or relationships in movies, series, books, or even music lyrics. Do you find yourself identifying with these characters on a deeper level? Does your heart flutter when a lesbian storyline unfolds? Or do you feel a sense of familiarity and comfort when listening to a song about same-sex love? This could be because you see your own feelings reflected in these narratives. You may connect with these characters and their experiences because they echo your own emotions and desires. Or perhaps these stories allow you to explore feelings you haven't fully understood or acknowledged yet. Remember, media is a powerful tool. It not only entertains us, but also helps us understand ourselves better. Media can sometimes mirror our realities and desires. Sign number 5, how do you feel about feminine men? Now, this is a sign that might be a little complex to unpack. Some questioning women might find themselves attracted to men who exhibit more feminine characteristics. This could potentially be a sign of attraction to femininity, not necessarily to men. It's a nuanced aspect of attraction that might not be immediately clear. When you find yourself attracted to a man who is more feminine, it could be his feminine traits that you're drawn to, his sensitivity, emotional openness, or even physical traits that are typically associated with femininity. This does not necessarily mean you're attracted to men as a whole. However, it's crucial to remember that true attraction to men, even feminine ones, does not make you a lesbian. Being a lesbian means being attracted to women, not men, regardless of how feminine they might be. Attraction to femininity can be complex, and it's important to understand the nuances. Sign number 6, your relationships with women. This sign is about the emotional bonds you form with the women in your life. It's not just about the friendships you've established over the years, but rather the intensity and depth of these connections. Have you ever found yourself forming deep emotional bonds with women that feel different than your usual friendships? Maybe you feel a stronger sense of comfort, connection, or even longing when you're with these women. Perhaps there's an inexplicable pull, something that goes beyond simple camaraderie or platonic affection. It's important to note, however, that this sign is not a definitive answer. It's merely a piece of the puzzle that can help you understand your feelings better. It's about recognizing the pattern, the recurring theme of strong emotional connections with women that seems to stand out. Your emotional connections with women can be telling. So take a moment to reflect on these relationships and what they mean to you. Sign number 7, a feeling of differentness. Many individuals who identify as lesbian report experiencing a sense of differentness from a young age. This isn't necessarily tied to their sexual orientation at first. It could be a feeling of not quite fitting in or finding their interests veering from what their peers deemed normal. This sense of differentness could manifest in countless ways. It might be that you found yourself more comfortable in the company of girls, or maybe you had a unique interest in women's sports. Perhaps you were drawn to stories with strong female leads, or you simply felt an unexplained disconnect when your friends talked about boys. Remember, feeling different isn't exclusive to being a lesbian, but it's a common thread in many people's stories. It's like a small, quiet voice in the back of your mind, whispering that you're not quite like everyone else. Feeling different can be a subtle but powerful sign. Sign number 8, your reaction to this video. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on how you're feeling right now. Are you resonating with the signs we've discussed so far? Are you finding yourself nodding along, feeling a sense of relief or understanding? This could be your subconscious telling you something. It's not unusual to seek out information when we're trying to understand ourselves better. If you're hoping even slightly that the signs we've talked about point towards you being a lesbian, this could be indicative of your underlying feelings. It's important to remember that there's no rush in figuring it all out. This journey of self-discovery is personal and unique to everyone. It's okay to not have all the answers right away. What matters is that you're taking steps to understand yourself better. Your reaction to this information can be a sign in itself. And finally, it's time to wrap up our exploration. We've journeyed through a myriad of signs that may indicate you're a lesbian. We looked at the magnetic pull of attraction to women and how your response to male attention might be telling. We pondered on your future vision, whether it includes a male partner or not. We explored your reaction to lesbian media, whether it resonates with you or leaves you indifferent. We considered your interest in feminine men, but remember, if they're still men, it doesn't make you a lesbian. We've also examined your relationships with women and whether your feelings of differentness might be pointing towards your sexual orientation. And finally, your reaction to this video might have been the biggest sign of all. But remember, these signs are not a one-size-fits-all. Each person's journey is unique, and it's okay to take your time to figure things out. If you're feeling overwhelmed or confused, don't hesitate to reach out to supportive communities or professionals. There are numerous resources available online and offline to help you navigate through this self-discovery. Remember, there is no rush. It's perfectly okay to take the time to understand yourself better. Remember, it's your journey. Take your time, be kind to yourself, and know that you're not alone.